Hi guys, MrRoflWaffles here. I'm gonna push the boat out, no pun intended, a little bit today, and talk about not just DLC 2 and 3, but also what we might be able to expect on the horizon of DLC 4, all the way into the future, looking at what might be happening at the end of the Black Ops 3 Zombies story arc. So, right now, I have said for months and months, DLC 2, probably gonna be an island of some kind, probably going to be based on Pompeii, probably going to be something like Nan Madol, and that is going to be the location of the map. It's going to have all these references to the fact that we've got a Takio map coming up, and a Nikolai map coming up. At least, that seems to be the case as to what is going on here with the characters. After the cutscene in Der Eisendrache, in which Dempsey's soul is secured within the summoning key, I think that is a fair assumption to make. So, this next map, DLC 2, most likely going to be this island. It's a Division 9 research facility. In the cell below the waves is where Honor suffers. There's all of that stuff coming in there. All of this previous cipher information, new cipher information with Der Eisendrache, because obviously Division 9 is mentioned repeatedly in the ciphers on that map and is really just this new creation in the storyline that we haven't really heard of too much before, but actually is sort of being made out to have been in the sort of mix of things for a long-ass time. Like, this group, Division 9, have been around essentially since the story quote-unquote began, but they've just literally never been referenced until now. It's the whole corrective lenses theory that Jason Blundell is essentially taking the storyline and saying, we're going to reshape the way you're thinking about it just a little bit and give you a new perspective of things. And one of those new perspectives is Division 9. Now, I digress. That is going to be one of the maps. Also, quite possibly, we might end up having some kind of Stalingrad map, which is fascinating because how they could make that into an actual map itself, I don't know. I just don't know how they're going to do it, but it certainly seems like Volgograd is going to be the location of Nikolai's soul sort of acceptance into the key. That absorption probably is a better word of Nikolai 1.0's soul into the summoning key is probably going to be happening in Volgograd. Again, we had Der Eisendrache, we had Hohenwerfen Castle written down, or rather the coordinates for it, written down in the Shadows of Evil secret scrap. We had Pompeii in the Shadows of Evil secret scrap. We had Volgograd in the Shadows of Evil secret scrap, and that leaves DLC 4 with no coordinates, which is, in my opinion, goddamn interesting. Think about it, okay? We have Richtofen's soul in the summoning key. We have Dempsey's soul in the summoning key. We have the Shadow Man's soul in the summoning key, which Richtofen might not actually be aware of, which is crazy to think about, but I digress. We've got Richtofen, we've got Dempsey, we're going to be getting Takio probably in DLC 2, we're probably going to pick up Nikolai in DLC 3, hopefully that Nikolai's memories segment will be repeated for the other characters and we'll really get some juicy backstory about their past, the past of the Origins 4 rather than the 1.0s, which we already know a fair bit about. These characters are all going to end up, or rather the 1.0's souls are all going to end up in the summoning key alongside the Shadow Man. What, then, does that leave for us in DLC 4? We know that Jason Blundell surely is going to be giving us some resolution to the questions that we've had in the past concerning things like that Origins cutscene, for example. There's no way at all that they're going to leave that as a big question mark, a big open conundrum and enigma for us to figure out going into the next Call of Duty game or the next Black Ops game or whatever, the next Treyarch Call of Duty, essentially. There's no chance that that is going to be the case. How they are going to resolve it, though, is, well, a bit of a mystery right now. We've got these references to Ragnarok, the reset that I've talked about in my previous videos, this global starting again, but I just can't help but feel like we're missing some kind of undercurrent in the story that is going to rear its ugly or beautiful, prolific, wonderful head in DLC 4. So one of these things that could suddenly creep up on us and be like, hey-oh, I'm gonna just swerveball, curveball the story into smithereens right now and really mess things up for all of you is the fact that Richtofen has been acting like a good guy, right? Richtofen has been walking this path, etc., only he can walk it, all that stuff. I reckon he's evil. My gut feeling says that he's evil. I just cannot for a moment think that good old Richtofen, this character that we have known of for so long now in his various forms, is suddenly going to become a goody two-shoes. He's going to lobotomize Maxis, save his buddy Maxis, save the children in the house, kill all of the iterations of Primus or all of the iterations of those original characters, and then restart things again. And what? Like, the Ragnarok sort of arc, I guess, is going to be extended, and then Sam and Eddie are going to repopulate the world? No, like, come on, that just, no. Dearie me, that sounds terrible. So, by the way, the kids I'm talking about there, not the older characters and young Sam. That's the sort of theory that would fit within that Ragnarok mythos rather than it being anyone else. So it would be the child Richtofen and the child Sam growing up, and no, I just can't see that happening, honestly. It seems like that might be a nice idea. It might be like, okay, in an ideal situation, we'll completely start everything again, we'll sort of unify these universes, and kaboom, we'll start afresh. But I cannot see it happening. Feel free to leave a comment, though, with your ideas about this, because right now, we pretty much don't know anything about DLC4. We know that, or rather we can assume that, by that point, assuming that Richtofen's plan goes to plan, his and Max's plan, that is, he'll have the key, he'll have the souls, but then what? What comes next? That is the question I pose to you now, to leave a comment about. That is the question that I have been mulling over, and I wanted to make a video on this just to sort of shine some light on the fact that, at the moment, we really don't know. We are absolutely in the dark with this, and it's pretty exciting because, yes, it's sort of nice to say, okay, DLC 2 is going to be an island, that's fine. DLC 3 is going to be Volgograd, that's fine. Knowing that information because of the Shadows of Evil Secret Scrap is perfectly okay, but there's definitely something to be said for flinging us into the unknown, and I'm glad that Treyarch haven't given us quite enough information to figure out where DLC 4 is going to be or what it's going to entail just yet. So, I'd love to hear your thoughts on this, guys. If you've enjoyed the video so far, then smash the like button. Sorry that the videos have been coming out a little slowly recently. I'm a physics undergrad, and my lab work this week has been horrible, and so I've basically been doing that literally 9 AM to 9 PM or even later every single day, and I haven't had time to make videos. So I apologize for that, but here's a video to hopefully make up for it. Fingers crossed you've enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.